Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Telling you right now, what we talked about in the break, we're going to bring up on the show one day. We can't right now. All of our guests today on Donnie and Dolly are brought to you by Able Auctions, ableauctions.ca, and that includes Aaron Portzline, who covers the Columbus Blue Jackets for The Athletic and the NHL Network, Mike Babcock and Boone Jenner, along with Johnny Gaudreau, denying allegations on spit and chiclets that Mike Babcock scrolled through players' phones, a violation of their privacy. Paul Bissonnette of Chiclets standing by his story. Aaron Portzline joins us now. Aaron, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, a short notice too, Aaron. We really appreciate this. Hey, what do you know? What do you believe when it comes to this story, Aaron?
You know, I don't know what to believe, to be honest with you. I mean, I'll take Boone Jenner and Mike Babcock at their word. But as you said, Paul Bissonnette is standing by the story that he passed along. The story that we've written and presented on the Athletics website is just allowing both of them to express their thoughts, their standing in this. I think Boone Jenner and Mike Babcock's statement is pretty strong. It's a strongly worded statement, and yet I'm not sure where this story goes from here. I think the Blue Jackets would like it to go away because this is certainly not how they want to. How they want to start, certainly Mike Babcock's time in Columbus or indefinitely. But we'll see where it goes. It's just the players, the team has denied it, or at least said that it's been misrepresented as put forth by the podcast.
What can you tell us about Boone Jenner's character and Johnny Gaudreau's character? You've covered them I know Mike Babcock just got there, but what about their character from what you know, Aaron?
Well, I mean, I think you got to be careful with that because we know these guys on one level. It's, the post-game dressing room. It's certainly a front row seat compared to most onlookers. But I would not pretend to really know either of these guys. So certainly not in a place to give a character assessment. But let's just be honest. Young people have things on their phone. That's a private device. That's like, kind of like give me your wallet or show me your purse. Let me root through your purse. I mean, that's how it was presented. Like it was not up to the player, and you're kind of exposed. And I don't get the sense that that's how it happened. But who's to say? I think there are probably things on a lot of people's phones that they would not want just broadcast publicly, or certainly to their boss. But maybe I'm wrong, misguided there.
Well, what do you think about that? The situation, asking for photos on the phone to use in a bonding exercise, Aaron?
Well, I mean, I think there could. If you put it in a certain way, and it sounds rather tawdry and nefarious. But I think I don't know that this kind of thing in a workplace, certainly with a new person at the top getting to know everybody, is that unusual, really. Now, clearly it has to be up to the person what pictures they show or share. It can't just be, open up your phone, hand it to me. That's not cool. And again, the players certainly pushed back on that, any thought that that's how it played out. That's really what we could say at this point. And I'm not sure, as I mentioned, that we're going to learn much more, or if the story's over yet. We'll see what the next few days hold.
Yeah, I'm paraphrasing here, but Paul Bissonnette is saying, I got this from multiple sources. Any idea where he would have got this from, Aaron?
I don't. And, let's be honest, too, that a lot of players do feel comfortable speaking to former players, and I think Biz does the job he's supposed to do. He's on some level a spokesman, a salesman for the league, and pretty popular. Mm-hmm. And the guys love him. He's funny, but he doesn't attempt to be. He would never consider himself a journalist or someone who holds himself to journalistic standards. So I think we've got to be careful with some of the stuff that's put out there on the Spit and Chiclets podcast. It's just lump and say, okay, this is what it is. But that podcast serves a purpose, and this time it said some things about people that went into the public sphere that certainly made them uncomfortable because it's a coach that's got some baggage. Let's be honest about this. If this is any other coach, it's maybe a little bit awkward. This is a coach whose time in Toronto did not end on a high note, and players had things to say about him after he left. So there are a lot of eyes on Mike Babcock. There are a lot of people in this league. You all know the name Mike Commodore. There are probably others who would like to see him fail or not succeed here in Columbus. Certainly, I think that's a fair thing to say. So you've got to be careful with all of these allegations. I have no problem passing along an unflattering truth as long as I know it's true. But this is one of those stories where everybody's got their own version of the truth, and it's sort of hard to find where the real truth lies in the middle.
Aaron, off the subject a bit, but sticking with the Blue Jackets, the Jackets acquire Ivan Provorov. They draft Adam Fantilli. You can tell us about Zach Werenski's health situation, obviously improve that. They hire Mike Babcock. What do you expect from this team this season?
Well, they expect to be competitive. They feel like last year was done in by poor coaching and a slew of injuries. I think mostly the injuries. But you mentioned Provorov. They also added Damon Severson, so two veteran defensemen.
From here.
That was a real sore spot on the roster, especially when Werenski went down. He's back to health now. So you're really adding three bona fide NHL defensemen from a year ago. So it should be much better. Elvis Merzlikins had an .876 save percentage. Obviously, that is not something that can sustain winning. But you would have to think that is going to be better with sustained, time out of your zone with those three defensemen I mentioned. They should be much stronger at center with Fantilli, with a Russian import by the name of Dmitry Voronkov, a big physical, rugged third-line, fourth-line guy. So they've got some pieces. They've made some dramatic improvements. And if they're just healthy, they're a lot better than they were last year. They expect it to be competitive. Not an easy division, not an easy conference. It'd be a hell of a leap for them to earn a playoff spot via wild card. But I think it's a safe thing to say is they're going to play harder, they're going to be competitive, and maybe they'll stay in it a little bit longer than last year because we were writing their obituary last year in November, which was no fun for anybody.
Aaron, like I said, short notice, and we thank you so much for doing this. All the best.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.